Not every verse made in God's name was asked for, and not every sacrifice is holy. This is one of the most disturbing accounts in the Bible, and it isn't buried in some obscure apocryphal text. It's right in the heart of the Old Testament. Judges 11, verse 29 to 40, tells the story of Jephthah, a judge of Israel, empowered by the Spirit of God, chosen to lead, and yet he made a vow that would shake generations. But first, some context. Israel was once again in trouble. The people had done evil in the eyes of the Lord. Enemies pressed in, specifically the Ammonites. The Israelites needed a deliverer. Jephthah, by his own family and driven away, had built a reputation as a mighty warrior in the wilderness. When the elders of Gilead came crawling back to ask him to lead the fight, Jephthah agreed, but not without extracting a promise that if he led them to victory, he would rule over them. With the Spirit of the Lord upon him, Jephthah advanced. And somewhere between faith and fear, between trust and superstition, he made a vow. Whatever comes out of the door of my house to meet me when I return, I will sacrifice it as a burnt offering to the Lord. And God let him speak it. It wasn't an enemy. It wasn't a servant. It was his only child, his daughter. The text doesn't record God stopping him. It doesn't say a ram was provided like with Isaac. It says he kept his vow. This story doesn't glorify the vow. It exposes the danger of religious zeal without knowledge. It forces us to ask, what kind of God do we believe in? And what kind of worship does he really want? Because even today, some offer their families on the altar of ministry. Some sacrifice their children for ambition, pride, or platforms. And some speak for God without truly knowing his heart. Jephthah's story wasn't about obedience. It was about a man who knew of God, but not the heart of God. For I desire mercy, not sacrifice, and acknowledgement of God rather than burnt offerings. Jephthah made a vow to secure God's favor. But God had already given him his Spirit. He didn't need to bargain. He needed to trust. What have we promised God out of fear that he never asked for? When worship becomes performance, when fear dresses as faith, we risk offering what God never required. Do not be quick with your mouth. Do not be hasty in your heart to utter anything before God. Ecclesiastes 5 verse 2. Jephthah's story is not an invitation to imitate. It's a warning to remember God doesn't delight in our sacrifices. He desires our hearts. And that's another verse that shakes you.